Oh,
thank you. Okay, thank you.
sweet. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Temple Akiba of Culver City. We're so glad that you're here with us this Shabbat morning, during which Riley is becoming a bat mitzvah.
Woo-hoo!
Riley, we're so excited to celebrate with you, to pray with you, and to learn with you this morning. You've brought so many family members and friends that are here creating just this woven tapestry of heart and spirit. And we're all here to embrace you and be on this journey. For those who are here for the first time, my name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, here with Kentralani Freilich. We welcome you. We're so glad to be together this morning to celebrate Shabbat. You should all have a blue prayer book. If you manage to get through without our greeters getting you one, please just put your hand up and members of Riley's class will help you out. All right, good job, folks. We're also going to ask that you take a moment to look at your cell phone, take it out, and don't assume, but make sure that it is in the off mode. If it goes off during the service, that automatically sends a signal to our administrator that you've made a donation to the synagogue. Okay? So maybe I should tell them to leave it on, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the music this morning?
I would love to. So Riley will be leading us through almost all of our service and alongside the rabbi and myself. But even though she's leading, we encourage you to sing along with us, to participate, to join with us. Even if you're not sure of the words, we're going to call out the page numbers as we go through. I always say just sing la, 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 but we'd love to hear your voices. We'd love for your participation. The more you can participate, the more you're showing your love for Riley.
We're going to open with the singing of Hine Matov. It means how beautiful and wonderful it is to be together as a community. It's on page 70, page 70 of our prayer books.
Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine matov. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine matov. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad.
Riley, we're going to ask for you and your parents, Stephanie and Daniel, to come forward for the presentation of the Talit. We're on page 72, everyone. And if I understand correctly, the Talit that you're about to receive is a new Talit, but thank you, Alex, but the Talis bag I mean, look at this. Deanie, this is just gorgeous. You needle pointed this as you do for all your grandkids. And that's just so beautiful. So if you'll take that out. Oh, and it even has your name on the back. Wow, okay.
That's amazing.
Riley, go ahead.
As I wrap myself in the talit, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Bless Adonai, O my soul. Adonai, my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lihitatef batzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
Riley, you just fulfilled for the very first time a mitzvah, a commandment as a Jewish adult. This very first action that you do on your bat mitzvah, putting on your own talit, prayer shawl, is one of the 613 mitzvot that we have in Judaism, and you just did it. And so because of this extraordinary moment, we celebrate it with a prayer to Shehechianu. It's on page 344, page 344, and we invite you to please pray this melody with us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Turn to page 77, and as Riley is a dancer, this is a prayer that I believe was written specifically for her. It's a prayer that reminds us that every day we wake up and we're grateful that all of our body parts are working well, because if they don't, there will be dire consequences.
Don't let me fall. As the stone falls upon the hard ground, and don't let my hands become dry as the twigs of a tree. When the wind beats down the last leaves, and when the storm raises dust from the earth, with anger and howling, don't let me fall. I have asked for so much, but a blade of your grass in the distant field. Let's drop a seed in the lap of the earth and dies away. Sow in me your living breath, as you sow a seed in the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol ba'asar umefi la'asot.
Amen. Continuing now on page 84 with the Nisim B'chol Yom. These are blessings that remind us to look outside and remember there are miracles everywhere.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Ozer Yisrael bigvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
Continuing now on page 106 with the prayer known as the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divra chirute Yamlich malchute.
B'chayechon uvyomechon Uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala Uvizman kariv
Veimeru.
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevora. Le'al Me'almaya. Yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtaba. V'yitpa'ar v'yitnaram v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitala. Shemei dekudasha.
Brichu
Le'ela min kol b'yirasha v'shirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiram be'alma.
V'yimeru.
Amen.
Our formal call to worship is the Baruch Hu. It is on page 108. We invite the congregation to please rise.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
On page 110, let's read together in the Hebrew.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yotzer or uvarei choshech. Osei shalom uvarei et hakol. Hama'ir al haaretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim. Uv'tuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma'rabu asecha Adonai. Kulam b'chochma asita. Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu. Al shevach ma'aseh yadecha. Ve'al morei or she'asita. Yafa'arucha selah. Or chadash al Zion ta'ir.
V'nizkeh chulanu mehera l'oro.
Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer ha'ma'orot.
The watchword of our faith is the Shema Yisrael. It's on pages 114 and 115.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated, everyone. Riley will continue with the chanting of the V'ahavta. It's on 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohi metzaveha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvlechecha b'derech, ushokbecha uvkumecha, ukshertam leyo al yadecha, v'hayu letotavo beineinecha, uktavtam al mezuzo beitecha, uvishorecha, leman tiskeru, vazitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hiem kedoshim lelahehem. Ani Adonai Elohehem, Asher hotze ethem, meretz Mitzrayim, lehiyot lahem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohehem.
Next. Beautiful job, Riley. Oh, don't go anywhere. Okay. We're on page 123 toward the bottom of the page.
After this reading.
And what is my lifespan? I am gone like a woman, gone out of Egypt. The Red Sea parts, I cross on dry land. 2 walls of water on my right and on my left. Pharaoh's army and his horsemen behind me. Before I leave the desert, perhaps the promised land too. That is my lifespan.
So I think it's appropriate that for the bat mitzvah of a young woman who loves to dance, that we all have the opportunity to dance a little bit. So we've got some tambourines being prepared, and we invite everyone to come forward to grab a tambourine, and we are going to make a line dance all the way around the sanctuary as we sing Miriam's song. It's on page 342, page 342. But more than anything, we encourage you to come forward, grab a tambourine, and fill this space with dance.
Can you face the mic?
One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And the women dancing with their cymbals followed Miriam as she sang a song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she danced for the light. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their cymbals followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. As Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought that we would part with an ounce of chance, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their cymbals followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their cymbals followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Mitzvah lo chabai limadonai, Mitzvah lo haned avokonet, Torah tehilo lo tefela, Torah tehilo lo tefela. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their cymbals followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
Everyone, let's take a deep breath as we transition from the joy of dancing and movement to the serenity of standing in place. We invite you to please rise once again. And we're on page 124, page 124. Please rise, everyone, for our Amidah.
Adonai, Sephai Teftitav, Ufia Gitahilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Koner Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah, Rav Lo Shriya, Mechaye Chayim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rahamim Rabim, Somef Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Hasurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidolelach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzviach Yeshua, B'ne'eman Atah Lechayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Nekadesh es Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatu al Nevi'echa, V'korah zel ba'amar. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech ha'aretz, Kevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Adir Shimcha b'chol ha'aretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshiachenu, v'havu Yashmienu, v'lachamav le'enei Hochai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Etzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah. Ledor Vador Nagid Godlecha, Nesav Nesachim, Kedusha HaNakdish, V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu la yamush, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Thank you so much, Riley. We're going to continue with our own private prayers. We can use the pages in our Seder Ream and our prayer books from pages 134 through 142. Perhaps just pick a page that resonates with you as you read it, or pray through all of them, or look inside of your own hearts and listen to what's there. And when you're finished with your own private prayer, you may be seated. we're going to ask for Riley's Akiba classmates, Akiba cousins, all youth of Temple Akiba, to come forward to help us with our Song of Peace. You know, we look out into the congregation, and I'm looking at Aunt Paula and at Stephanie, at Mom. If it weren't for the two of you, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, so much of what we see would not be happening. And that's because you approached us to help create a more robust young congregation, junior congregation for the Holy Days. And it was your partnership and your insight and your vision that helped us to deepen what a day like today is about. And we're very grateful for that. We're grateful for this wonderful family, this dynasty, Riley, that you're part of. And as I shared last evening, I think I've done more kinds of life cycles for your particular family than any other family of Temple Akiba. And that's just a really neat part for you to be in this line of. And that's what a bat mitzvah is in celebration of, that you're joining all these others who have come before you, as well as those who are coming after you, to receive Torah, but not just to hold it, but to celebrate it and to allow others to hear your wisdom. And so that's what we're about to do. We're entering Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of Torah. Riley, take a deep breath. We're going to open in our prayer books to page 244. We invite Oliver and Toby to come forward to open the ark, and we invite the congregation to please rise once again. And Riley, we need you up here as well. Okay, just like we practiced it, right? Slide, go.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kemasecha, malchutecha, malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha v'chol dor v'dor, Adonai melech Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch, le'olam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim, heitiv avertzoncha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Kivecha levad batachnu, melech el ram v'nisa, Adon olamim.
You guys are awesome. All right, you're staying here. You're going to go back to your seat. Thank you.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, udevar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
We're now going to invite forward, Riley, the generations of your family to the Bima, including Deanie and Ira Schulman, Neil Cutler, and Janet and Tom Newton. We'd also like Stephanie and Daniel to come forward as well. Wanting all of you come on up. So grandparents are going to be over here. Yeah. Grandparents, Deanie, come over a little further. There we go. Perfect. Riley, you're going to stand on the side, and Oliver next to your sister on that side.
On the end.
Perfect. Ledor Vador, from generation to generation, our Torah is coming down today, Riley, into your arms. It began with a conversation between Moses and God at Mount Sinai, and all of these individuals have nourished your soul through words of deep wisdom. And so they're all going to have an opportunity to embrace Torah, and then it will eventually come into your arms. Oliver, you got to wait a couple years. Okay.
Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagigod lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nakdish.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu le'Adonai iti uneron mema shemo yachdav. Ready?
Al shlosha devarim.
Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim. Haolam omeh. Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha, come back.
Al shlosha devarim.
Al shlosha devarim. Haolam omeh. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim. שלושה, שלושה דברים, העולם, העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים,
שלושה דברים,
על שלושה דברים,
על שלושה דברים,
על שלושה, שלושה דברים, העולם, העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. תורה לי, תורה לי, תורה שלי. תורה לי, תורה לי, תורה שלי. תורה, תורה שלי. תורה, תורה שלי.
Please be seated. We want to show the congregation before Riley begins the Torah reading. You have two different yads here, and they each have a special meaning. There's this one, which is, I believe, brand new, that was gifted by Grandpa Neil. And this is such a beautiful yad that you'll be using for many of the aliyot today. But there's also this beautiful one, which I believe your mom had at her own bat mitzvah. So there's an heirloom as well as something that's brand new. And it's a nice tradition because now when you are a privileged parent and have a child becoming bar bat mitzvah, they can use 3 yads, right? It just will continue and continue. We're going to ask everyone, if you put your sidurim, your smaller prayer books aside and take out the larger chumash, that's the commentary. They're in the seats in front of you. If you're in the front row, reach behind you, make friends with them. There's enough there for every 2 or 3 people. And we can open up to page 952 to follow along with our Torah reading, 952. And we're going to be calling forward a number of people to offer a blessing and aliyah. And just so that everyone can have a little bit of a roadmap, there are a number of ways onto the bima. By the cantor's side, there's a handrail, so if you're more comfortable using that, you can use the handrail. Of course, you can use the ramp, or you can come up the staircase on this side. When you offer these blessings, you'll always be standing by my side along these flowers as well. For our first aliyah, we invite forward Hamila Josephson, Jonathan Josephson, and Katie Musiccar. Ya'amdu, Pamela bat Gabriel ben Nadine, Yosef Baruch ben Baruch Berel Pamela, Katie Ann bat Mariliz Carl. Hi, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Hold on one second. Let's just make sure.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el Aharon, ve'amarta elav becha'alotecha et hanerot el mul penei hamenorah ya'iru shiv'at hanerot.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam Natan B'tokeinu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Call everyone. You're going to come over to the cantor side now. You're going to hang around for a little while. For our second aliyah, we invite forward Michael and Skylar Cutler. Ya'amdu Reuven Yael ben Nucham v'Yochanan v'Kochav Shachar bat Avram v'Sara. Hi everyone, Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol hamim benatan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayaskin Aharon Elmo Panei Hamenorah Ha'elah Nerotecha Ka'asher Ziva Adonai et Moshe.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata betohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
I have to say, when calling the Aliyot, it's really nice that just about everyone who's coming up, we have some very personal connection to. It really feels good in our hearts and souls. For our third Aliyah, we invite forward Neil Cutler and Janet and Thomas Newton. Ya'amdu Nucham ben Ruby v'Shirley v'Yochanan bat Mary v'Jim v'Taom ben Bill v'Edith. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Everyone.
Not too fast, please.
Okay. Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'zeh ma'aseh hamenorah miksha zahav ad yerecha ad pircha mikshahi kamar asher hir'aha et Moshe Adonai et Moshe Cain asa et hamenorah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et Torah emet v'chayei olam nota betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Oh, thank you so much, everyone. So, folks, you're going to
Stay here. Come back.
For our fourth Aliyah, we invite Paula and Matthew and Nathaniel Josephson. And Toby, we don't want you to be left out, so come up with your family. Ya'amdu Delilah, Chava bat Yisra v'Nechama v'Metatyahu Aharon ben Baruch Beryl v'Pamela v'Nachman Ephraim ben Metatyahu v'Delilah. Toby, you coming? No? You can come. We didn't call you by the Hebrew name, so it's official, all right?
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor kach Aharon atal ve'im mito b'nei Israel V'tiharta otam.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you so much. You can have a seat now. Exactly. Thank you.
For our sixth Aliyah, we invite forward Nadine and Ira Schulman. Ya'amdu Nechama Sivia bat Nachman v'Tenya v'Yisrael ben Yaakov v'Lori.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'chota aseh lahem letaharam, hazeh alehem mechatat, v'heveiru ta'ar al kol basaram, v'hibesu v'igdehem v'hitaharu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Before you leave, Dini, a special blessing for you because you were a cornerstone here, but it feels like you were in the building just about every day, either picking up or dropping off from the time that your grandkids were in preschool. So thank you really to both of you for being a sacred part of their journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For our sixth Aliyah, we invite forward Stephanie and Daniel Cutler. Oliver, join your parents as well. Ya'amdu Shmuela Meira bat Yisrael v'Nechama v'Daniel Benjamin ben Nachum v'Yochanan. Hi.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And we have a changing of the yad now.
She changed it already.
She changed it already.
V'lakechu par ben bakar umin kato solet belulav hashamen ufarsheni ben bakar tikach lechatat.
Baruch.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Ta'amod, habachura bat mitzvah, Tamara, Shira bat Daniel, Binyamin, v'Shmuel Meira. We now invite Riley Addison Cutler for her aliyah.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'hikravta et halveim lifnei ohel moed. V'hikalta et kol adad b'nei Yisrael. V'hikravta et halveim lifnei Adonai. V'samechu b'nei Yisrael et yehedem al halveim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam neta betoheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. We're going to lift the Torah scroll so you can see what Riley so beautifully just chanted. And as we lift Torah, we ask that you all please rise.
Vezota Torah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Please be seated, everyone.
Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
We're still in our larger Chumash. If we open to page 974, we continue with the section from the prophets, the Haftarah. I'm partial to this particular Haftarah portion because it is from the prophet, which is the best prophet in the Bible, and that is the prophet Zechariah. Riley will begin with a blessing beforehand, which is not in the Chumash, but then she'll continue with the portion itself.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar bin bi'im tovim veratza v'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habacher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo unvinviei ha'emet v'tzedek roni v'simchi b'tziyom ki hineni va v'shachanti v'tochech ne'um Adonai bel nevu goyim rabim el Adonai bayom hahu v'hayu li le'al v'shachanti v'tochech v'yada ki Adonai Zeva'o shelachani elayich v'nachal Adonai et Yehuda helko al admat HaKodesh Uchar O Birushalayim Has Kol Basar Mipene Adonai Ki Neor Mimeod Kodsho Yavar Eini Et Hoshua HaKokain Hagadol Omeid Lifnei Malach Adonai Vesatan Omeid Al Yamino Lesino Vayomer Adonai El Hasatan Yigar Adonai Becha Hasatan Veyigar Adonai Becha Habocher Berushalayim Halam Zeh Mutzal Me'esh.
Riley's about to offer the blessing afterward, and I can see that Stephanie and Daniel and Oliver are getting ready, as well as some of our classmates. We're going to be handing little candies out to everyone. These are to be joyfully and happily and gently tossed onto the bima once she is finished with her blessing after. A couple of thou shalt nots, everyone. We're in the sanctuary. Thou shalt not eat in the sanctuary. So once the candies are collected, stuff it into your pocket, stuff it into your purse, don't stuff it into your mouth, and don't crinkle it because it makes that sound that we hear right now. Those are the thou shalt nots. Thou shalt have fun with this. Are you ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Baruch Atah Adonai Melech Ha'olam Sur Kol Ha'olamin Tzadik B'chol Hadorot Ha'el Haneman Hamoher Ve'oseh Hamedaber Kayem Shekol Derav Emet V'Tzedek Al HaTorah Ve'al Havodah Ve'al Hanve'im Ve'al Yom HaShabbat Hazeh Shenata Talanu Adonai Eloheinu Likdusha Binim Lucha Levod Uletifaret Al HaKol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu Modim Lach Uvachim Otach Yitbarach Simcha V'fichol Chai Tamid Le'om Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
All right, those who are young at heart, come and pick up the candy. Come get the candy, everyone.
Go grab the candy. Go grab the candy. Go, go, go.
These are mine. These are mine. Oh, these are mine.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like
Candy. More.
help.
Toby. Got the most candy. Toby.
No, look, Morgan, look at mine. Morgan, look at mine. No, Morgan. Oh my God. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. I'm kidding. I was kidding.
Have a seat.
That's a new one.
Everyone, let's take a deep breath of fresh air. Stuff those candies in a place where we don't hear the crinkling. stuff those candies in a place where we don't. On the ground is a good place. There we go. There's so much joy that we experience in the service, and it's important that we take the energy from when our spirits are up there and remember that there are so many that are in need of healing, and to take that strength and to transform it into healing prayers. So if we put our larger Chumash away and bring our Sidurim out again, our prayer books, and if we open to page 253, page 253, right in the middle is our prayer for healing, our Misha Berach. We're going to offer this prayer together, and when we get to the center, perhaps there are people that you know of who could use an extra prayer, an embrace of love. Say those names out loud as my eyes meet yours, and we'll continue to pray together.
Mekor habracha leimotenu, may the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mekor habracha lavotenu, bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
As we prepare to place the Torah back in the Ark, we invite Oliver and Toby to come back up to open the Ark. Riley, we invite you forward as well. And we ask the congregation to rise once again. We're on page 256, 256. Ki lekach tov natati lahem torati al ta'azovu. For I've given you a good instruction. Do not abandon my Torah.
It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom, it is a tree. Shalom, shalom, it's not a bush. Shalom, shalom, the tree of life. Shalom, shalom. Eis chaim hi lemachazikim bavetomecha, melshar. Eis chaim hi lemachazikim bavetomecha, melshar. Shalom, shalom,
Not a bush.
Shalom, 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 shalom.
Please be seated, everyone, except for you. Thank you both.
Speech time. What happens?
These back to you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to the special day where I become
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for coming to the special day where I become a bat mitzvah. It means so much to me that all of you could come to this special day of mine. To me, becoming a bat mitzvah means more than responsibility. It also means giving back to the Jewish community. In addition, becoming a bat mitzvah means acknowledging the issues that need to be fixed in our communities and bringing it to others' attention. Although I'm going to have more responsibility, including doing the dishes or laundry, it also means being active in the community, completing mitzvah, or helping others when they need it. The Torah portion I read is called Bechalotecha. It comes from the 4th book of Torah, the book of Numbers. At this point in the Torah, the children of Israel have left Pharaoh's land and are on their 40-year journey to Israel. Bechalotecha means when you kindle your lamps. It is often talking about the lighting of the candles that are being held by the 7-branch menorah described in the Bible. In Judaism, we light a candle weekly on Shabbat, or at holidays like Hanukkah, Passover, Yom Kippur, or Rosh Hashanah. We light candles then and more. In my family, we light Shabbat candles every week. As Albus Dumbledore says, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if only one remembers to turn on the light. When you add light into your environment, it gets brighter. Light is something that can leave your sight but can be brought back to you. For example, the sun can add light to your day. The sun is natural light and it never goes out. Therefore, the light is never gone. I have been at Akiva since I was 2 years old, and I have made some of the best memories here. Whether it is at day camp and we are singing for Shabbat on Fridays, or at resident camp sleeping under the stars at the overnight, Temple Akiva has done some amazing things for me, and I am so grateful to be a part of the community here. Now I want to thank all the people that have supported me through the years. Thank you, Ken Erlani, for helping me with my prayers. Thank you, Rabbi, for helping me connect with my Torah portion and helping me write my speech. Thank you to the Director of Education, Randy Bischoff, to the Sisterhood for the Kiddush Cup and Candles, and to the men's group for the Tanakh. Thank you to all my friends from school, dance, theater, and temple. You all have always been there for me, and I am so glad to have such amazing friends. Thank you to Amma for being an additional grandma to me, and doing woodworking with you and Apple was so special. I can't say how grateful I am that I get to spend a lot of Jewish holidays at your house. Thank you to Auntie Paula, Uncle Matthew, Auntie Katie, Uncle Jonathan, Aunt Skylar, and Uncle Michael. You all are such amazing people to be with, and I'm so happy to have you all as my aunts and uncles. Thank you to Papa, Grandma, Grandpa, Bubby, and Gramps for all the fun times I've spent and all the journeys to the studio. It means a lot to me. An extra thank you to Bubby and Gramps for supplying me with all the best food recipes I can ever need that can date back to Judaism or just family recipes. It means a lot to me. Thank you to Nate and Toby for playing sports, being with you at dinner, or just being there. It's always a blast. Thank you to Oliver for being the best brother I could ever ask for. And although we don't get along every single second, it's always so fun when we're together at the park or playing games or doing literally anything together. And finally, to the people that gave me life, Mom and Dad. You truly are the best parents I could ask for. You sacrifice so much time to be with me, bake together, drive me to dance, school, theater, a friend's house, and more. Mom, I love it when we can get our nails done or go shopping together. You driving me to school or watching TV at night. You always take time in the morning and to say good morning or good night. And you are so supportive in all the choices I make and are awesome at giving advice when I need it the most. You're the best mom in the world, and I couldn't be the same without you. Dad, it is always fun when you introduce me to new music, and then I usually play the songs over and over until your ears fall off. I'm also very happy you introduced me to a bunch of sports and show me how fantasy works, because now I get to be with the family and talk about things. It's the best when we sit on the couch and watch sports, and you're the best dad, and I love you so much. I love you guys so much, and I couldn't imagine my life without both of you. Thank you to all of you again, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Riley, your Torah portion, which translates to when you raise the lamps, describes how to build a menorah. The menorah in question was meant to bring light to a meeting space and to welcome an outside group into a tent. As I look at your many friends in the audience, from different groups, from school, from Girl Scouts, Temple Akiba, or dance, it's evident that you are a menorah yourself, offering a welcoming light to others around you. Your bright smile and hugs cheer up those around you. Your kindness and generosity are given out freely and without hesitation or an expectation of reciprocity. The Talmud says the highest form of wisdom is kindness.
What is light? Light is energy and warmth. Light can bring security from darkness, encourage growth, provide direction, or a spotlight for something that needs attention. Many of those same things can be used to describe how Mom and I feel about you. You are definitely a bright spot in our universe, and we are extremely proud of the young woman you've become. At the core of this ball of light named Riley is a creative spirit that burns hot and bright. Your passion for dance and the requirement that you get up on stage and perform in front of hundreds of strangers and then be judged has fostered a sense of self-confidence in you that not many 13-year-olds have. Not many 41-year-olds have. Mom and I frequently comment how you have the qualities at age 13 that we didn't learn until age 25 or 30.
Your love of baking has filled the bellies and tantalized the taste buds of many friends and families. Brownies, cakes, cookies, and even your fantastic waffles. Seriously, they're really good. You've even created a brand for yourself, Clover Cakes, and have been providing goodies to friends and teachers throughout the school year. It is obvious to us that you bake because it brings you joy. The best part about watching you bake is that you immediately want to share your sweets with those around you. You bring light into the lives of others with your baking and some dirty dishes.
In our house, Mom and I always encourage you to be a self-advocate. We want you to advocate for yourself, your family, your friends, and your community. You're an independent thinker, willing to take charge, and willing to do the work to make things happen. When you want the family to know your dance, gymnastics, or theater schedule, in case they want to watch you in person or over the web, you write an email and send everyone the necessary links. When you wanted to play fantasy baseball this season, you created a league and made sure everyone signed up. By the way, she's currently in second place, beating most of the rest of us. You are also resourceful and a pro at selling Girl Scout cookies. This year, you decided that it would be a better use of your time and effort to create door hangers and walk the Culver City neighborhoods rather than lugging around a giant wagon of cookies. Your method was very successful, and you were able to sell to many new customers.
Temple Akiba's slogan is, "Our light shines brighter together." Those words could not be more appropriate for today. 13 years ago, a bright ball of light came into our lives and has burned brighter than we could have ever imagined. Over the years, Temple Akiba has helped it grow even brighter. Thank you to Rabbi Zach, Cantor Lonnie, Randy, Robin, and all of Temple Akiba's teachers and camp counselors who have helped kindle the flames.
Before we wrap up, we wanted to offer some advice. We used to read a book to you as a baby called Blueberry Girl. The book is a poem that to a yet-to-be-born baby girl. One of the passages reads, "Words can be worrisome, people complex, motives and manners unclear. Grant her the wisdom to choose her path right, free from unkindness and fear." Riley, continue to be the fearless, compassionate, and driven girl you are today. We don't yet know where this path you're on leads, but as long as you choose a path that's true to you, it will always lead you to wherever you're supposed to be.
As Golda Meir said, make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement. We love you very much.
Daniel and Stephanie, the moment you tell me that you want to be rabbis, I think we have space. I mean, quoting Talmud, Golda Meir, wow. I'm very moved. I'm very moved at every level. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah. I'm more than okay right now. I feel like I'm on this cloud of love and light and spirit. And something is so out of this world because I close my eyes and you're in preschool, building Legos with me, learning how to count by twos with the little Lego bricks. I remember so specifically how you were learning to multiply as a 4 or 5-year-old through the bricks of Legos. And I open my eyes, and my gosh, here you are. You've got a dance, not recital, you have a competition on Monday. How you're able to do all that you do astounds Cantorlani and me. But you're here. And you've brought joy and light and a lot of wisdom. And Riley, the sense of goodness that you brought whenever you came into my office, the questions that you asked, the depth of wisdom and of goodness that you added to my day transformed me personally. Along the way, you asked a number of significant questions, but one of them was this: how can your daily life make you feel more Jewish? You know, we have Judaism, you talked about it beautifully in your speech, you have Shabbat every week, you light candles on the holidays, you go to camp, etc., but what about everything else? I think your parents put it really well, and you did in your speech, that whenever we harness light, whenever we connect with light, that's a way of realizing that God's voice is in our soul, saying, go out there and be a light, be a menorah, be a sense of inspiration to everyone else. And that, Riley, is what you do. That's what you do. The answer is also found in the words of your Haftorah portion. The prophet Zechariah, my favorite prophet. A little bit later on from what you read, but still in your portion, are the lyrics to a song that you love from camp. Not by might and not by power. The take a shower part is not in there, but by spirit alone. Not by might, not by power, but by spirit, says God. That is the cornerstone of Judaism. That it's not about being mighty and powerful, but it's that spirit of light and love that you, Riley, have. The answer is right there. Follow the words of your Haftorah portion, follow the words of your Torah portion, and follow the guidance of that light that's in your soul. Because if we get this window into who you are, just imagine as you continue to grow what the world is going to learn through being around you. We are so proud. Mazel tov.
Thank you. So Riley, when you first started with me, the first day, your mom and you came to my office, and you said, okay, Riley has dance, Riley has gymnastics, Riley has competition, Riley has special dance tutoring or training. Oh, and Riley is going to be in a musical on top of that. And my thought was, how in the world are you going to get to this day? How are you going to handle all of those things on your plate and school and study for a bat mitzvah? But look what you just did. You did all of those things, and you were incredible today. You didn't just lead us and do okay. You were unbelievable. So you proved to all of us that you can have 12 million things on your plate and still succeed and do an incredible job. And it's such a special honor for me to be here with you today and for me to be your cantor today, because we've been friends. Our families have been friends since my daughter and you have been in preschool. We've had birthday parties together. We've celebrated birthday parties. You've slept over our house numerous times throughout the year. So I feel like extra nachas because you're almost like a second daughter to me. So I'm so proud of you today. So honored to be here. And thank you for bringing us joy and bringing us light.
Thank you.
We're going to bring your Akiba classmates forward for a very special ritual. You're already preparing for it under your talit.
You know.
I've done a bunch.
You guys got it? Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisod Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom, shalom.
May God's light, like the menorah, always shine in your soul and grant you the gift of shalom, of peace. Amen.
Amen.
All right, group hug, everyone. What an honor it is to now call forward, representing our congregation, Sarah Fields. Sarah is our board director of engagement. Sarah, Shabbat Shalom. Let me give you a hand. Would you like to?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And welcome to Temple Akiba, if any of you haven't been here before. And welcome, of course, to those that are very connected to our congregation. As a board member, we do this every couple months. We sign up to do the announcements. And so I was so pleased to find out that Riley, who did such an amazing job, is the granddaughter of my friend Deanie. So that made this especially meaningful to me. I'd like to thank the family for the candle lighting, and we'll be looking forward to the oneg. I think that's going to be great. And Riley, you just did an amazing job. I have a few congregation announcements. I want to thank, if there are any members here of the Casino Night Committee, they put on a fabulous, fabulous event, and I hope some of you were able to enjoy that. It was wonderful. We also recently had a collection of kitchen items. Our Tikkun Olam committee works with an organization called the Volunteer Collective, and they were collecting kitchen items for people moving from homelessness into their first supportive housing, so that they would receive a box with pots, pans, dishes, everything you need to start out the kitchen. And the congregation was incredibly generous, and those items were picked up this past week, and they'll be sorted out and given to people in need. We have a Havdalah tonight at 7:30 here at the temple, welcoming new members. Our cantorial intern Liz's class on Jews in pop culture continues. 2 more sessions on Tuesday nights. Those have been really fun and interesting. And I saw on the calendar that next Sunday on the 26th from 3:30 to 7, there's something called Pub Akiba, which involves bringing your favorite wine or beer or soda and having something here at the temple. So I think that's going to be really nice. Again, thank you, Riley. You did a wonderful job, and we have a couple of things for you. This is your certificate of bat mitzvah, signed by the rabbi, the temple, and Kathy Penso, our temple president. And this indicates that this is a JNF certificate. I think it's a tree. Yeah, right. A tree in Israel. And the joke is always, your day to water it is Wednesday. Anyways, congratulations. It's just been such a pleasure to be with you today. Okay. Yes, please.
We have one additional ritual, and that is the signing of our Lador Vador scroll. Earlier during her speech, Stephanie mentioned our temple motto, "Our light shines brighter together." In Hebrew, it says, Orenu Meir Tov Yoter Yachad. And this is a piece of artwork that was created specifically for our congregation by Mordechai Rosenstein, a renowned Jewish artist. And it's a scroll with beautiful, beautiful calligraphy and writing and artwork on the outside, but it's blank inside, and every person who becomes a bar mitzvah here or a bat mitzvah has signed it. And there are a number of family members in here who already became bar bat mitzvah who have signed this. You're going to come right beneath your classmate, Daniel Shapiro. Wonderful. Everyone say Mazel Tov again.
Mazel tov.
And we're going to ask the congregation to rise. We're on page 282 for the Aleinu.
Slide it over. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kogei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
On page 291, toward the bottom, there are stars up above so far away we only see their light long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember friends and family of our congregation who have died, who continue to live in our hearts from their eternal resting spaces. We remember those who, in our own country, who died as slaves and were never able to see freedom that we celebrate on Juneteenth this year, part of our country's collective history. And we remember those of Riley's family who have died, who are always part of our song and our dance, including Norman and Thelma Lander, Adele Sweeney, Jack and Lori Schulman, Ruby and Shirley Cutler, Mary and Jim Meddings, Leslie Cutler Riff, Luann Cruz, Barry Josephson, Bill Newton, and Judy Lilly. May their memories guide us toward goodness. On page 294, we remember them with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrach rotei b'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'galau v'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei t'kudashah b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, tamiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru
Amen.
amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say,
Amen.
Amen. Everyone take another deep breath. Cantor, how are we closing today?
We are going to close with the singing of Oseh Shalom. We invite you to put your prayer books down because we need your hands for clapping. And Stephanie and Dan and Oliver, we invite you back up to the bima to sing with us.
Oseh
Shalom b'mroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu le'al kol Yisrael. Kol Yisrael, Oseh shalom b'mroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu.
say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom,
Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
So everyone, we got one more ritual. Let me put my guitar down for this. We're going to offer a motzi together. Once we're finished, we're going to ask you to do us a favor, and that is the blue prayer books that you have. Don't leave them on your seats, but help our 8th graders by placing them on the shelf on the way out of the sanctuary. But first, let's do our prayer over the bread.
Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon.
Shabbat shalom and mazel tov!
Thank you for everything. Everything. I mean, not just today. Go get it, Ollie.
All for you.
Did he tell you that yesterday they fished out candy?
That's a ritual every, because every week there's always something the week before.
4 weeks before.
Oh wow, you found more candy?